Final Score is a 2018 film directed by Scott Mann. It's written by David T. Lynch, Keith Lynch, and Jonathan Frank. And we have a cast including Dave Bautista and Pierce Brosnan. And there were two reasons why I wanted to watch this. One, I'm just trying to watch more action films. And if you can recommend any, please feel free to do so. And I also really like Dave Bautista. So I thought, let's give this a go. And I can say it's fine. I quite enjoyed it. I didn't love it. There were times when it felt not necessarily repetitive, but it felt like it was taking a long time to go anywhere. But in general, I thought it was a decent narrative. And Bautista's character, Michael Knox, has to try and, well, save everybody when it seems like some pretty nasty people are planning on destroying this football stadium. And I don't want to say too much about that. There's a tiny bit more information on IMDb if you want a little bit more going into it, but I don't want to give away too much about the antagonists or their motivations, just in case you don't want that information until you go into it. But there is a little bit more online. And in general, I thought it sounded like an interesting concept. Don't care about football, could not care less. The setting was not something I was interested in the sense that I could see myself there and feeling that fear, but it was still very easy to feel the increasing anxiety as things did develop, generally at a pretty steady pace. As I said, there was a point, I don't know when exactly, I didn't time it, but I'd say after the halfway mark, but not right at the end, when things were kind of slowing down a little bit, it got a little bit stale, I was kind of waiting for something to happen. It's not that nothing was happening, but the action kind of stagnated a little bit. But aside from that, things progressed pretty steadily, and the anxiety certainly increases throughout the film. The characters are quite well written. The performances are really brilliant. For the most part, I think they made a great use of the space. Obviously, with it set in a football stadium, that they're not travelling a great distance, but obviously football stadiums are still quite sizable, and I do think they made a great use of the space for the most part. I think at the point when it started to slow down, I was getting a bit bored of the setting, but maybe if I frequented stadiums, I might feel differently, so I'm willing to admit that that one might be on me rather than the film itself. And in general, I'd say it's a decent action film. Bautista gave a really great performance, everybody did, and the setting works really well. In general, the pacing is great, the action is very good. I think generally it's a well-written narrative. We have some well-written character motivations. I believe the characters' actions within the context of the narrative. There are obviously some very nasty characters, but very well-written characters, great performances. Bautista was as brilliant as I expected. Decent narrative, no issues at all. If Final Score sounds like a film that might appeal to you, then I'd say it's certainly worth watching. I can confirm that if you don't care about football, it doesn't matter. It still works really well, and ultimately I came away from it feeling satisfied, and I am quite happy to recommend it. Final Score is definitely not a bad film at all.